I got like 40 minutes, and I got a lot to talk about, and I want to give you guys some inspiration and motivation about how I invest in real estate, okay? So if you haven't followed me on Instagram, if you like to get inspired, learn about real estate, and be entertained by all this little energy, I drop 3 videos a day, every day for the last 2 years straight, 7 days a week. I'm blessed. In the last 2 years, we're almost 1 million followers on Instagram organically, and we're about to break 2 million followers on TikTok organically every day by just dropping good content. So you want to get great information, follow me there, all right? All right. Some of you might know I just turned 52 years old, and this is in Maui. I just came back from Maui. I like to meditate every morning. And one of the things that came to me when I was in Maui, meditating at 52 years old, I realized, what are we doing all this for? And at the end of the day, I realized that the reason why everybody out there hustling is because they want time, peace of mind, and simplicity in life. This is the big aha turning 52 years old for me. I am understanding the value of time. I am understanding the value of peace of mind, and I understand simplicity. The older you get, the more simple you want your life to be, so you can spend more time doing the thing you love to do in life. You don't want to be grinding it at 52 years old. Trust me. I work hard on getting myself here today. I'm going to show you how I got here. And today I want to tell you from life experience. It is shitty, man, to go out there and make a lot of money, and if you're 50, 60 years old and you still got to grind it every day, get up in the morning with this big-ass shotgun in the back of your head, talking about, get your ass up. It's the worst feeling. And then your kids out there got baseball games, soccer game, and you can't be with them because you're on the treadmill grinding it out? For what? Remember, the reason why you're working hard is because you want your time back. And you want peace of mind, and you want simplicity in life. My life, what you see today, wasn't even close. If I were to bet money against myself, saying that I'm going to be here today, and the success I have today, coming from Vietnam, I would have never thought I would be where I'm at today. So I wasn't born rich. This is why I want to take you back and show you where it all started. My vision today is to inspire and empower millions of people to reach for their goals and dream and see that anything is possible by me just sharing my own story, my own failure, and my own journey. I don't teach people from words. I teach people from my own action. Anybody that learns from me, they get inspired and they learn because they see me doing the work. I'm 52 years old. I still door knock 3 hours a day. I still cold call 3 hours a day to find deals every day. Because I can't preach to my student, go out there and find deals if the man ain't doing it himself. That's bullshit. That's out of integrity. If I'm telling my student to go out there and make flyers and send flyers and find deal, I got to do it. Because you know why? I still love hunting for the deal, and I love doing it every single day. My legacy that I want to leave on top of the vision is generational wealth. I want to make sure that my kid, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I teach my kid real estate because I'm doing it for me. But the biggest thing I'm doing it for is for the next generation. I told my kid, when I die, you're not going to get any of my money. But I will teach you how to fish. I will teach you about real estate. I will teach you about wealth. I will teach you about investing. So that way, by the time I die, you have so much money, you don't even need daddy's, mommy's money. And to me, that is generational wealth. Everybody in this room, what you're going to learn from me today, you want to learn this stuff, not for you. You want to learn this so you can pass it on to the next generation. This is how you end poverty, folks. By you doing the work, you learn it, you know how to fish, then you teach your own kid how to fish. This is what I'm about. I want to help my kids experience generational wealth. I want to help all my Springboard students. Give it up to all my Springboard students in the house, baby. If you would have asked me a year ago when I started this program, I had no idea I was going to even start the program. I get one person to call me like, can you coach me? I'm like, I'm not interested in coaching nobody. I got things I'm doing. Next thing I knew, I coached one person. 1 year later, you guys, opening Springboard, we have over 1,000 students across America. It's crazy. I am so blessed. We have 300 to 500 students enroll every single month organically without us doing anything. It's just from word of mouth. Because I take it serious. If Anna coaches me, I'm going to make sure she's going to get her money worth 20-fold, 100-fold. And then she can go out there and be my raving fan. That's all I want. But I really want her to be successful because she can teach her kids how to do it. I want to help all my friends, all my students, all my followers, people like you guys. This, to me, when I die, if my plaque says Thach Nguyen, rest in peace, and it says generational wealth, I did my work, baby. That's what I'm talking about. So, let me rewind real quick and show you guys. I wasn't born with a silver spoon. I was born in Vietnam in 1970. I was 5 years old. My dad worked for the U.S. military as a translator. He get a phone call from his boss, and he called home. My mom was cooking lunch during the time, and my mom hung up the phone. Even at 5 years old, I knew there's a problem. My dad told my mom, pack your bags. The communists is coming in 3 days. The U.S. government is pulling out. We got to leave with them. Because if you don't leave with the U.S. government, if they capture you, you're going to die. We have one suitcase and $100. My mom was pregnant, my sister, 29 years old. My dad was 34 years old. My fourth brother got into the Jeep, drove to the airport. Never even knew where we were going to land in the U.S. $100. We're going to make it work. Destiny. None of my aunt and uncle were home when we went by and picked them up, and none of them was home. The fact that you're here is destiny. The fact you're in this room listening to me versus being in the other room is destiny. There must be a law of attraction reason why you're here to listen to me versus somebody else. We took the opportunity. We left. This is the last plane, C-130 cargo plane, that flew out of Saigon in the last minute with all the military. This is the real picture of it that we had. We flew out, and we landed in San Diego, Camp Pendleton. That's Camp Pendleton on the top. They used it as the homeless shelter to house all the Vietnamese that came through. We lived in the shelter for 2 months, those camp right there. And then Governor Evans from Washington State helped migrate some of the refugees, 500 families up to Washington State. And the picture on the bottom is the Seattle Archive, which is crazy. That's my mom and myself. We just landed at Camp Pendleton, and that was the archive picture, the real picture of Seattle time. We were the first family to step foot in Washington State. And that was the beginning of my career right there. We started from there. Remember, folks, it's destiny that you're in this room. Whatever I say today, take it to heart. I will lead you to a place that have abundance, peace of mind, simplicity, joy, and happiness, and balance. That's what I experienced in my life. I don't believe in just making money only. What's the fact of making money? You got no health and well-being. How good your money? If you make a lot of money and you ain't got your spouse, your kid don't know your name, they don't want to hang out with you, what's the purpose of that? That ain't wealth. My dad got a job up in Rainier Valley. If anybody in Seattle knows Rainier Valley, it's the most diverse zip code in Seattle, Washington. This is our first rental house, a 2-bedroom, 1-bath with an unfinished basement. Every winter, there'd be a river that run through. All the windows cracked, insufficient heat. 8 of us live in this one house. And you know, it was a trip. It was a palace for us compared to where we came from. You know what that's called? Perspective. We got it good, everybody in this room. But all of us, I think sometimes we forget. We live like we're suffering. We ain't got enough. We got to hurry up and get there. I got to hurry up and get to the top. My grandma lived in Vietnam in a little shack out in the country. She sleep on a hammock. I told my grandma, I got you covered. Whatever you need, I pay it. You know what she says? We're good. I'm happy. I don't need much. If you can live your life being happy and satisfied with where you at and eager for more every day and practice that balance, I promise you, you have so much abundance, it'd be crazy. You could even handle all the abundance. But you know how most people live their life? Life sucks right now, and I need more. True or false? I started real estate in 1991. I was sitting at a Chinese restaurant, parking car, and this friend of mine said, you should do real estate. I think you do well. You got a good mouthpiece. I was like, okay. I got my license. I was 21 years old. I was the youngest agent ever hired in Washington State. 21 years old. Had no idea what I was doing. Still living with my mom and dad. The first 3 years, I didn't do nothing in real estate. Maybe just one house. On my 4th year, I met a guy named Mike Ferry. Big shout out to Mr. Mike Ferry out there. Right? Mike Ferry taught me, he said, if you want to be successful, one, you can sit around and wait for business to come to you, or B, you can actively go out there and find it yourself. If you go out there and find it yourself, you can predict and duplicate your results. If you sit around waiting for somebody to come, you can never duplicate and repeat the results. No problem. What do you want me to do, Mike? He's going to go out there, find a neighborhood that you want to work, and then go door knock it. I said, that's it? No problem. I was such a Forrest Gump, and I was so hungry, so broke, knocking on the door, like, no problem. I made 100 flyers, got up, parked my car, 9 o'clock in the morning, in the rain, with an umbrella, and I knocked on 100 doors. Took me 5 hours, and I did it 5 days a week for 10 years straight. Every season. Dave, am I true or false? That's a true story. He knows. Dave and I have been for a long time. And I made all my real estate. People ask me, how do you get started? You got no money. Wholesale. How did I get started to make money? I sold real estate. I was selling real estate. After Mike Ferry, 3 or 4 years into the business, I became a millionaire at the age of 27 years old, selling real estate, one home at a time. But what changed my life was this man right here. I was working at a company called Windermere Real Estate. Saul was the owner, John L. Scott. Saul said to me, Thach, why don't you come and work in my office? And this is what I will do for you. And this is what I'm going to do for you guys. I'm giving you exactly what Saul told me. Thach, come to my office, and let me teach you how to be wealthy. He said to me, you can be rich by selling a lot of real estate, but you can be wealthy when you own real estate. He said, do you see that tree outside? He said, yeah. That tree is growing every day, even when you're asleep at night. Selling real estate, when I get off the treadmill, my income stops. He said, that's the only problem. But you need to make money so you can buy real estate. So your vehicle from selling real estate should be a vehicle to feed your investment. The more you make, the more you can buy. The more you can make, the faster you can pay down your debt. And I said, got it. Makes sense. I want you guys all in this room to listen up, okay? You ain't going to be wealthy wholesaling for the rest of your life, because that's no different than selling real estate. You can't be wealthy flipping houses for the rest of your life, because that's no different than selling real estate. You can't be wealthy building spec homes and selling it every day, because that's no different than selling real estate. And the worst part of it, you got to pay 50% to Uncle Sam tax. And after 10, 20 years, 30 years down the road, what do we got at the end of the day? Zero. So Saul says to me, go make a lot of money and buy a lot of real estate. And that's when he changed my life. And I realized, after I got going, I realized what Saul was saying is beyond owning real estate. You guys look around the room, you see a lot of my Springboard students, look what they have on their shirt. It says, own it. And this is what it means. Saul and I talk about this all the time. We don't just own real estate, you guys. We own our choices. We own our happiness. We own our health. We own our relationship. We own our mindset. We own our results. We own our peace of mind. And ultimately, we own our life. So we just don't own real estate. I don't teach all my students just to own real estate. I teach them how to own everything. That's why today's talk is about own it. It's beyond owning real estate. When you can own your mindset, you own your life. When you can own your well-being, you own your life. When you can own your relationship with your wife and your kids, you own your life. Like I said, you can have a lot of money, but if your kids don't know who you are because you're working all the time, you ain't wealthy. You missed the whole damn boat, folks. Would you guys agree to that? So, after Saul told me this, you guys, I was fired up. I started selling real estate. Me, my wife, and one buyer agent, we were selling 15 to 20 homes a month. And I was making $1 million a year selling real estate. But I didn't stop there. I took the money and I bought real estate. I bought and hold. This was my first house I bought in 1997. I was still living in my mom and dad's house. I went and door knocked this owner. That's how I find my deal, even today. The owner wanted to list it for $110,000. I asked the owner, would you mind if I buy it for no commission? $105,000. The owner says, hey, that's fair to me. I bought it with 5% down, because since I was the first-time home buyer, I put literally over $6,000. I closed the property, and I turned it into a rental property. Decided to stay in my mom's house and milk that. You ready? I bought 15 rental property and still live in my mom and dad's house. How many damn houses do you actually say you live in, sir? Now, I'm going to tell you, I could have easily went out and bought me a house. I'm going to use this word sacrifice. Some people might take it the wrong way. What I mean by it is, I wanted to sacrifice living the good, rich life. They asked me to be on the panel coming up next about why rich people go broke. I said, man, I got a lot to say about that. Put me on the panel for that. Because I could have easily been out there driving Mercedes-Benz, flexing all the Rollies, right? You name it. But I decided I'm going to just chill, stay in my mom and dad's house, and let me rack up my money and buy some rentals. I bought 15 rental property before I even moved out. This property, I bought it for $105,000. I put $6,000 down, had 3 renters in it. And today, it's paid off by the renter. I get passive income, I get tax write-off, and I got appreciation. This house today, I could put it on the market as is for $750,000. I turned $6,000 into $750,000 and the tax write-off. This real estate ain't complicated. The only complicated is this. You don't know how to find a way to make money to the front door, so all people want to do is go raise capital, which is a damn joke. If you can find deals, and you know how to wholesale it and make fat money from wholesaling, you will never need another investor in your life. But the problem most people in this room don't realize, in order to be a savvy and good investor, you got to be a good marketer at the beginning. You know how to market and find good deals, you got option. You keep all the good deal and you wholesale all the rest. That's how you make money. Today, you guys, this property is free and clear. I got $750,000 in equity in this property. And see that driveway on the side? We are getting a permit in the backyard, and we're putting 1,000 square foot ADU. And I'm going to show you the number later. It cost me $250,000 to put an ADU, and it's worth $700,000 in that backyard when it's done. So this property here, $750,000 in the front equity. In the back, I have another $400,000. There's one property here with $6,000. I turn it into $1.1 million. That is called real estate investing, folks. Simple, and you don't need to complicate it. Buy, hold, buy, hold. But the key is you got to buy the right property. And I'm going to show you what I buy. Today, I own houses. I own multi-unit. I own micro apartments. I own hundreds of property. I don't count doors. Because counting door is an arrogant thing in real estate. I own 4,000 doors. How much percent do you own of that door? I own 20%. That's syndication. So you don't own 20% of 1,000 door. I own 100% of my property. I earned it from selling real estate. I own a 100-unit apartment building, a 60-unit apartment building, a 50-unit apartment building. I'm building a 35-unit apartment. I own a 27-unit apartment. I own about 80 single-family home. And out of 80 single-family home, I'm putting Dadu on half of it in the backyard. Where's Cliff at? True or false? He's seen it, my man Cliff. Hey, give it up to my man Cliff Ava, former Seahawks Super Bowl champ, baby. Give it up to my man, okay? Give it up to my man. And I own townhouses. If you guys follow me on Instagram, all those townhouses I built, I keep all of them. I 8-plex, 10-plex, I'll keep them all. Dave, you know, because you see them all, right? Today, you guys, I have over $100,000 a month in passive income. All my properties owned in Seattle. The average home worth $700,000, $800,000. You can do the math. It's a lot of net worth in that. When that thing is paid off, I'm 52 years old. My goal right now, by the time I turn 60, is to get them paid down. When it's all paid off, I have $250,000 a month, every month for the rest of my life. And I started from Vietnam with one suitcase and $100 and knocked on 100 doors every day to get where I'm at with no real estate investor. That's called simplicity, peace of mind, and freedom, baby. You want to learn how to do that? That's what I'm talking about, baby. Okay? I keep it simple. If you notice, right? I speak Vinglish, half Vietnamese and half English. And I want to keep it simple because everything you hear from me, I water it down so that my kid can understand it. My Instagram account, every video I make, it has to be watered down so my kid can understand it. That's why everybody who watch my Instagram will go, man, it's so simple. It's straight to the point. Yes, I do it on purpose. Because why I don't talk about commercial on my Instagram is because I realize my mass follower are everyday people. And I want to actually create content for everyday people to be wealthy like me. That's why I do what I do. So, I'm an investor with Warren Buffett in his company. I was at Warren Buffett's shareholder meeting a few years ago, and he said this, and this is exactly what Saul said to me. You want to own real estate and let that money work for you when you're asleep. And this quote is a beautiful quote to back it up. This is why you want to own real estate. If you don't own real estate, you'll be living this quote for the rest of your life. And it's a painful quote. If you don't find a way to make money while you're asleep, you're going to work until you're old and dead. And that's the reality of every human being on this planet right now. And all you got to do is just buy one property, two property, three property. If you have 5 properties, I want you to think about this, okay? Think about the average rent in your area. Everybody think of that number right now, okay? You ready? You got it? Everybody got it? Now, I want you to think about it. Let's say it's $2,500. If you had 10 property paid off, that's $25,000 tax-free money. And if you're debt-free, you can live an amazing life in America with no investors. Simple. You got your time, you got your peace of mind, and you got simplicity. In this industry, people get so sold because they see people on the panel own 1,000 units, 2,000 units, 3,000 units. You don't need 1,000 units to live a good life. All you need is 10 property paid off with $2,500 minimum rent. You got $225,000 a month for the rest of your life tax-free? Are you kidding me? This is why people got this game all twisted up. All my students, I tell them, let's work on getting 25 to 50 grand a month, and then we can talk about growing your portfolio to 100, 200, 300 units. Let's get out of the rat race first, versus putting more pressure on yourself. Folks, own real estate. Own it. If you don't, you're going to work until you die. Let me ask you a question. I want you to really think about this, okay? When are you going to stop running on the treadmill so you can stop trading your time for money but rather trade your money back for time. Please, read it to yourself again, please. I want everybody to have the thing soak into your body, in your mind. This is an oucher. When are you going to stop running on the treadmill so you don't have to trade your time for money, but basically trade your money back for time and start doing the thing that you want to do more of? Spend time with your kids. I was asked to speak at 5 different locations 2 days ago. Long Beach, Oakland, New York City. Look at this, Cliff. My friend that has an event in New York City, 2,000 real estate investor. They asked me to come out there, and the host is a guy named DJ Envy. If anybody know who DJ Envy is, him and 2 other people are the radio hosts of the biggest radio station in New York City called The Breakfast Club. They said, Thach, come be one of the headline speakers, bro. And we want to take you to the Breakfast Club. We want to interview you on the Breakfast Club. And you know what I said? When is it? It's blank, blank, blank day. I said, sorry, can't make it. I got a baseball game with my kids. The only reason why I'm here because Taro's a good long friend of mine. And he asked me to come here. I'm like, okay, bro, for you, I'm coming. I turned down Oakland, Long Beach, New York, and even just recently, Jamaica. And they pay me to go out there, and I'm like, not interested. My kid got a baseball tournament all the way to the middle of August, and I'm missing their game today. Taro, I love you, baby. That's why I'm doing this for you, okay? This is what passive income can do for you. It gives you option. It gives you freedom. It gives you choices. I don't need to travel to go speak. I don't need more fame. I just want to go make real estate, pay him down, help my student make more money, be with my kid, teach him how to do real estate. I'm good. I don't need to complicate my life. That's why I turned down all the speaking engagement. But when Tara came and asked me, I'm down. Let's roll. And next thing I knew, 100 of the Springboard students come out, hang with me. Love you guys, man. I don't know how much I love you guys, okay? Option, folks. I want you to think about this. If you had your time back, if you had passive income, 25, 30 grand, what would you do? Would you travel more with your kids? Would you be at the soccer and baseball more often? Would you go and work with community? Right? I'm excited on working with Cliff on his charity that he's doing in Seattle, right? When we get back to Seattle. What would you do if you had all your time back? I promise you, you won't be grinding it. Nobody want to grind it. The only one you grind it is a have to, not a want to. I still work. I still door knock. But you know what the difference is? I want to do it. I love to do it. That's the difference. And the day I don't want to do it, I don't have to do it. Because I set myself up early. Set yourself up, folks. After this event, I'm telling you, the stuff I want to talk about, you guys just follow and just plug in. I'm doing it. I won't preach nothing I don't do. Everything I preach, I do. That's the difference between me and everybody else. So let me ask you a question. What's your end game? Why are you doing all this for? Why are you coming to this seminar? Why do you want to own 1 unit, 2 unit, 1,000 unit? Where are you going? What are you doing it for? Do you know? Most of the people I know that own hundreds and hundreds of units, 1,000 units, and they want to get more and more and more. When I got to get to know them personally, they have no idea why they're even doing it. They're chasing the next Jones. One Jones chasing after another Jones in this real estate business. It's Mr. Jones, let me go get him. But you know what's funny though? Oh man, what's his name? Got 200 units. I need to go get 300 units, bro. Oh, what's his name? Got 500 units. Man, we need to go raise some more money. I got to go get me 1,000 units. They have no idea. And their kids at home like, Mom, where's Dad at? How come they ain't there at my baseball game? You know the worst thing about the Asian community? I can speak about my own culture, so that way no one can say, man, why are you ranking on, those cultures? At least it's my culture. The worst thing about the Asian culture, you guys, they're so money driven because they came over here with nothing. And the worst thing is, they work 40, 50, 60, 80, 90 hours a week. And then they have someone nanny their kids. I live in Merced, one of the most expensive zip code in Seattle. And I see some of these Asian kids, they go play baseball with my kids, and their mom and dad ain't never there. It's the nanny that take them to the practice and the nanny take them to the game. Why? And when you talk to the parents, because I'm trying to set it up, you know what I mean, so they don't have to suffer like me. You know what I tell them? Hell no. Let them suffer. Because you building a bunch of wimps if you give everything to them. Teach them how to do this shit. You know what the kid says on the side? I don't care how much money my mom and dad get. I just wish they'd come to my game sometime. Come on, man. They lost us. They got this shit all backward. You think another $100 million is going to make a difference? This is why people get all twisted. What's your end game? I want you to think about this, okay? What's your end game? Look, get clear. What does passive income and escaping the rat race really mean to you guys? Think about that. I want you to really think about these questions. When my students come work with me, these are the questions I work with them at the beginning. I don't even show them how to find real estate. I don't even talk about passive income. I talk about what's the end game. Let's get clear. What does passive income mean to you? What does getting out of the rat race mean to you? What does it mean like getting your time back? What does all that mean? Let's figure out your why behind it so when it's time to go to work, you are motivated. When I started, you guys, you know my clear why was? I'm going to retire my mom and dad. Every time I talk about my dad, I bring tears to my eyes. I get a phone call from my dad and said, come to the house. I need to talk to you privately. Tell Cameron to stay home. I walk into the house, walked upstairs, my mom and dad sitting on the sofa with these sad face. I said, what's the problem? He gave me this letter, and I read it, and it says cancer. I got you, Dad. We're going to take care of you. I got $5 million in the bank. We're going to take care of you. 90 days later, he died in my hand. The best thing I got out of it, I retired him and took him to Hawaii every year, took him to Vietnam every year until he passed away. And he always wanted a brand new Mercedes, but he never said it, because I heard him say it to my mom. We bought him a brand new Mercedes. 30 days later, 60 days later, he died. That was my motivation to get up every morning and go work so I could retire my mom and dad so they don't have to work. Today, my mom don't have to work. I got her covered. House is paid off. She go to Vietnam every year. I take care of everything for her. That's why we own passive income. That's why we own real estate. What's important or inspiring to you? I want you to think about it. What's important or inspiring to you? We were taught how to define success by other people's standards. Yes? Everybody been guilty of that, including me. How about this one? Don't get sold by someone else's definition of what success is. You know what I always say? If you don't get clear on your goals and dreams, you be sold by someone else's goals and dreams every day. Last, are you striving for your dreams every day? Or are you striving for someone else's dreams every day? You got to know your why. You got to know why you're doing this for. Otherwise, you're not going to be consistent doing this real estate game. This real estate, you guys, it is a myth. Everybody thinks the money's made in short. Real estate is a long game. The flip, the wholesaling, all that, that's cool. You get this big bag of money right up front. You pay half it on Go Sam, and then you go spend some money on some Gucci's and some Rolex watches, go on some vacation. Then you actually put the money back on the table, and then the market crashes like today, and you lose it all over again, and you start at zero. You know how I know? I've been there too. I'm speaking from experience. What's inspiring you? Think about that. Take a picture. Remind yourself. What does wealth mean to you guys? What does wealth mean to you? Think about that question. What does wealth mean to you? Today, time, peace of mind, freedom, option, choice. Mom, you don't have to work. I got you. Dad, you don't have to work. I got you. That's freedom, option, choice. Let's go travel. I got it. That's time. I'm at every one of my kids' baseball game. Every one of them. And I help coach them also. Since they've been 9 years old. And Russell's 16 and Hudson's 14. I ain't missed a day other than when I have to be at these events. That's why I don't speak of nowhere. I don't care how much money they give me. I ain't interested. Because another $100,000 ain't going to make no damn difference to my life. But I know one thing. My kid only grew up once, and I want to be there. That's why I work hard for. Let me tell you, if you don't invest in real estate, this is the reality of what happened. I want you to take a picture of this. I'm going to explain this to you. You can't save your way to wealth as quickly as you can build wealth through real estate. When Saul taught me this, you guys, I was like, oh my God. I want you to think about that. If you don't invest in real estate, you park your money somewhere, either in stocks, somewhere, savings, whatever. If it ain't in real estate, it's somewhere. I want to show you this. If you had $100,000, let's say you bought $100,000 worth of stock. You put $100,000 in, you get $100,000 stock, right? But in real estate, this is very simple. I wanted to do basic simple. I can make this very complex by showing you more in depth, but I don't want to do that. I want to keep it real simple. If I had $100,000, Jamal, today, I will put 20% down on a $500,000 investment. So my $100,000 is in a $500,000 investment. 10 years from now, let's say 10 years from now, let's say it double. The $100,000 in stock will double to $200,000. My house, it doesn't double on the $100,000 investment. It doubles in the $500,000 asset. It goes from $500,000 to $1 million. So my $100,000, I make $900,000 in equity from just sleeping at night and the tenant's paying for it. Now I want you to think about this. If you had $100,000, you can get one of those. Imagine you had 2 of those. Imagine you had 3 of those. Imagine you have 4 of those. Imagine you had 10 of those. Today I have hundreds of these properties, and they just duplicate every 10 year double, every 10 year double, every 10 year double, every 10 year double. And I'm not doing nothing other than being with my kids' baseball tournament, and I'm doubling my money every year, and the tenant's paying for it. And the biggest thing I get out of it is the tax deduction, which nobody else get when they're flipping houses, building houses, and wholesaling, because that's earned income. This is why you can't save your money to wealth fast enough compared to actually investing in real estate. This is why you want to own real estate, leverage. And it's not even bad leverage. The tenant's paying for it. You think about this. This is how you build wealth in America, folks. Look, this Vietnamese guy came from nowhere. I graduated from high school, 2.8 GPA. And if I can do this, I'm not telling you all this to impress you guys. I'm telling you to inspire you guys. You see what I'm saying? If I can do it, everyone in this room can do it. Does that make sense? Let's get it, guys. The time is now to get it, okay? The market is here. It's time for us to own long-term rental. It's time for us to get it. It's time to get it. So, in order to actually own real estate, these are the 3 basic things you gotta know. I talked to so many people in the last 2 days. The number one thing is the one everybody's missing. If you want to own real estate, the most important thing is these 3 points. 1, you got to know where to buy in the right location. I'm not just talking about Seattle. For a lot of my Seattle people, right, you know, it's not just saying Seattle. It's Green Lake. It's Central District. It's Beacon Hill. See how well I know that? You got to know where to buy in your town so they can actually double every 10 years. If it don't exist in your town, go to the next town over or the next town. But you got to know where to buy. The second thing you got to know how to buy, you got to know how to buy the right property where you can add value and force value. If you want to buy property at retail on MLS, it's fine. The only problem is that you don't have any instant equity. You're paying retail. You're paying peak market. And it takes you a long time to build your net worth because you're going to run out of money fast. But when you buy property that needs some work, you can add value and force value, and you can create net worth through sweat equity. And that's how you grow your net worth fast, so you have money to actually buy another one. And the last one is, which is the most important one out of all of them, you got to know when to actually pay them off versus when to keep leveraging. There are so many people I know in this game, including myself for many years. In 2008, I got my ass kicked. Bad. Lost over $5 million in this market, owning real estate. Because you know why? I kept pulling money out of my property to buy more property. So all my property didn't have a lot of equity in it. When that market stopped and the renters started leaving, I was in trouble. So you got to know when to pay it off versus when to leverage. Now, let me show you this. This is what I teach all my students. Take a picture of it because this is what you want to see. This is the roadmap to wealth. It starts with A. Right now, I love what Robert says. It's time to get educated. Let me tell you about this market, in my opinion. I think it's a blessing that the market is correcting. I've been praying for the real estate God to make a correction. Because when the market was going crazy, you had the landscaper, you had, you know what I mean, the inexperienced people all want to jump in and do real estate. Property's gonna worth $600. Oh, I'll buy it for $700. What the hell, fool, were you thinking? And they bought it, and they made money because it was the rising market. And they make all the people like us, who's experienced like us in this room, we have to pay more for the property. True or false? Now, the feds raise the rates so they can slow down this craziness. All those inexperienced is saying to me, oh man, I ain't investing in that, bro. I'm gonna wait for the bottom. Go ahead, keep waiting. Get out of my way. Now the field is now clear for all of us seasoned investors. Now the media is saying the price is going down, which it is, gone down 10%. Now you guys, for all of you in this room, including myself, all my students, it's time to double up all the money on red, baby. Put the authority to the ground, and let's go find some deal, and you can start negotiating from the seller, and you can start getting good deal. And if you actually buy for long term, who cares if it go down another 5, 10%? It makes no damn difference in the next 10 years. The time is now to buy real estate, people. This is the time. Right now, step one, you got to get knowledge up, educated up. Know what market is good. Know what's hot in your area. Know where to find the good deal. Number two, take the action. Start putting those information and all the strategies to work and start finding the deal. I was telling my friend Jamal here, bro, it's time for you to kill this Arizona market. You got to get the knowledge. We got to put it out, get it to work. When you start putting it to action, you start making some money. When you make money, start accumulating real estate. When you get enough doors, let's say you wanted 25,000. When you get 10 doors, if that's going to get you out of the rat race, stop for a minute. Next phase, pay it off. Once it's paid off, you got 25,000, you're debt free. Now you can play real estate for the fun of it with no shotgun in the back of your head. And you got peace of mind. Now, go ahead and grow it if you choose to. This is the path that Saul taught me from day one, and this is the path I've been on. And then when I got my goal, when Saul first taught me, my goal was $25,000 and passive income. I hit it when I was 40 years old. From 40 until now, I went from $25,000 to $100,000 a month in passive income. That's how crazy it is when you play this game and you're not attached. You can look at selling in the eye and go, I'm not interested. The price is too high. But if you'd like to take my offer, I'm happy to buy from you right now. No attachment. That's the best place to be at. Folks, this is the most simple roadmap to wealth. Everybody complicated. Please, take a picture of it. Remind yourself. Right now, it's time to double down on education, okay? So, let me educate you now on what I do. Today, after 30 years of investing, buying single family, doing commercial building, strip malls, small apartment building, big apartment building, buy it, rehab it, build new construction, build houses, build apartment building. I've done it all. I did syndication. I did everything you can think of, everybody on this stage. Look, man, I'm 52 years old, been around the block. Today, after everything I've done, I realized in my Seattle market, which a lot of markets very similar to this, the niche, which instead of going wide, I'm going deep now. And there's only 3 things I work on. One, buying fixer-upper single family and putting, they call ADU or DADU, detached ADU. Am I right? Look at my man, get the shade. Da-do guy. You see what I'm saying? The second thing I do is I build multifamily row houses. And then the third thing I do, which is a real live picture right there, micro apartments. Micro apartment or units are average 250 to 300 square feet, and I get about $1,200 to $1,300 a square foot. When I took Cliff and my friend Blake Snell to that property, Blake was like, what the hell? $1,300? Man, you're killing it. Take the math. Somebody take the math and go, take $1,300 divided by 250 square feet. What is that dollar per square foot for rent, guys? Huh? Somebody told me the number. Take it, bro. What is it? $1,300 divided by 250 square feet. $500 a square foot. Even a luxury apartment don't even get that. I run circles around luxury apartments. This is why I only do these 3 items. I prospect for these 3 items. I mail to these 3 items. I cold call these 3 items. I door knock these 3 items, and I go deep with it. This is what I teach all my students. In your area, what's the niche? What's hot? Let's go deep versus keep going wide. And this is what it is. So, people on Instagram always say to me, man, that bird shit that you talk about, bro, that shit is all fake. Right? You ain't got no equity in those properties. You over leverage. Everybody that's bird over leverage. And I always tell the people that are always making bird video hating on me. I was like, look, man, I have no problem. You guys hate the bird model. But if you actually like to see how much equity I have on one of these deals, look, just put up $20,000, come to Seattle, and I'll show you one of my deals. And if it's really 30%, because on my deal, it has to be 30% in equity after I buy it and rehab it. Let's say I buy it for $500, I put in $200,000, right? That's $700,000. If it's worth $1 million, I got 30% equity. I call that 30% margin. I said, if I show you every property and I have 30% in them, and if it's true, you give me 20 grand. Nobody has took my offer yet. Right? They're like, oh shit, right? So I'm gonna show you. And this, what I'm gonna show you, it is working right now all across America. True or false, bro? Right? True or false? You see it. Cliff, you see it, right? LA people, right? It's happening in LA. It's happening right here in Arizona. You know what they call ADU in Arizona? Casita. AKA casita. Right? It's happening. Are you on top of your game? So I'm going to show you a real deal and real number so you can really see what I'm saying. This is what I teach you how to create massive wealth. You ready? Here we go. Now, when I first bought this property, Cliff and I went out and took a look at this. And it wasn't even like this, right? So Cliff knows this is a real deal. This is a real deal. You guys see this house here? It's on a single-family zone lot that's 5,000 square feet. In Seattle, it says if you ever tear down a property before the Dadu code passed, for every property, you need 5,000 square feet to build a primary house. So back in the day, if you had a 5,000 square foot lot, all you could build is one property on that property, Dave, right? There's one. Today, since affordable housing is such an issue, city council all across America figure out how do we create more affordability in housing. And they say, you know what, let's upzone it. And the upzone from single family is let them put a dwelling unit on the backyard if it's big enough. And that's what they are allowing right now all across America. It's coming to your town, people. Trust me. If you do the research, right? I mean, where you live, bro? And it's happening over there? Right? Bro, tell them where you live. Tacoma. Is it happening over there? Right? Where my LA people at over here? LA, right? Is it happening? Eric, right? Stand up, Eric. This is my other friend, Eric from LA. He's also a Dadu man, an ADU man right there, okay? Okay? It's happening all across America, people. This right here, model, it make more money even than my micro apartments. I just built a 100-unit apartment building in downtown Oakland, California. This property here, 5 of these outperform a 100-unit apartment building in Oakland. That's sad. And I'm going to show you the number why. I got right now like 15 of these properties going right now in Seattle at once. And look at the numbers, okay? I bought this house for $500,000 as a fixer on a 5,000 square foot lot, and it had a side yard. It don't have much of a backyard. It had a side yard. I put in $50,000 to rehab the house, okay? And I turned it into a rental. Because I have money, I pay cash for this property, $500,000. I put in 50 grand cash to rehab it. When I got done, I wanted to refi it so I could get my cash back and put a little loan on it. The bank sent an appraiser out, and they appraised that house for $720,000. Okay? I got back. The bank I work with, they will loan me up to 70% loan to value. So what I tell all my students, when you ever buy and do a BRRRR property, you want to get at least 25 to 30% margin on everything. Buy a house, rehab it. When it's all done, the ARV, you want 25 to 30%. And if you got that, it's a real BRRRR property. Keep it. And the reason why is this. For me, the bank will only allow me 70% of $720,000. Some of you guys who don't own a lot of property, the bank would do 75% of the appraised value, the new appraised value. That makes sense? So if you get done, you got 25% equity in it. You can finance 100% of the deal, and your down payment that you put in originally, you can put it back in your pocket, but leave the 25% in the property. So you don't over leverage it. You can take that money and you can repeat the process all over again and do it again. I bought this property. I turned one property into two property. Now look at the Dadu. I got the land for free. Why? Because it came with the deal. I don't have to pay for the land. It cost me $250,000 to build a 1,000 square foot Dadu. 500 up, 500 down. When they got done, the bank came out and appraised that Dadu for $760,000. Holy Toledo. When you add up the equity in this one single family home, it's $680,000 off of one deal. And since, if you take a look at $680,000 equity divided by 1.45 million, called 1.5, it's 46% margin. So all my down payment money and soft cost for title and everything, and for entitlement, I got that money back in my pocket. I have no money vested in this deal, and I got $680,000 in equity. Over 45% equity on both property combined. If the market go down 5%, 10%, make no difference. Number one, because I ain't selling it, because I won't lose no money. But if I need to sell it, Dave, I can either drop it 10% and get rid of it, because I got so much equity. The reason why in 2008 people died is because they had no equity in it. Right? Folks, this is what I teach people how to do. You ready for this? You need to find out in your area, where are the fixer in your area, with at least 5,000 square foot lot and bigger, and ideally a side yard or an alley in the back. I just told you $1 million tip. Everybody heard that? Find fixer upper in your backyard. Side yard or an alley. Go and hunt for those property. If you don't have the money, wholesale it for a big check. If you got money, buy it, do this, and you build your net worth fast. With that, I'm going to leave it to this, because I know I need to talk. Look, after I'm done, I'm going to be at my booth. Feel free to come over and ask me every question you need to ask me, okay? Because I know the next week got to come up, okay? Oh, I'll be speaking all night for you guys, and I love to speak to do this kind of stuff. All right? So remember, I just don't own real estate. It's just not about owning real estate. It's about owning your property. It's about owning your choice. It's about owning your happiness. It's about owning your health, your relationship. It's about owning your end game, own your mindset, own your growth, own your being, own your results, own your dream, own your freedom. Folks, ultimately, on top of owning real estate, own your life. Because to me, when you can own it all, that is true wealth in America. Thank you. I love you guys. Let's get this shit going.
Bag up and my chain hitting like